Welcome to Manna at the Tap, a podcast from Tapestry Ministries. Each episode reflects on a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler on a spiritual journey with the Tapestry community, and we call the daily Bible reading our spiritual manna. It nourishes our souls, fostering our spiritual growth as we share insights and interpretations that enrich our spiritual lives. The season of Lent is over for another year. The dark days of Good Friday and Silent Saturday have given way to the light of Resurrection Sunday morning and beyond. This transformation from darkness to light, from death to life, reminds us of the hope and renewal that the Easter story brings to our lives. We met Mary Magdalene going to the tomb in the darkness on Resurrection Sunday morning in search of Jesus, only to find an empty tomb. Assuming the worst had happened and someone had stolen the body, she ran to Jesus' disciples, Peter and John. They came and looked in the empty tomb, but could not explain what had happened. So they returned home, leaving Mary still weeping outside the tomb. Mary had the courage to enter the tomb for herself, and it was in there that the light of resurrection shone brightly. When she heard someone call her name, Mary, she knew that voice, the voice of her teacher Jesus. The dark tomb became a place of a new lease of life for her. And Jesus assigned her the responsibility of leaving the space of an empty tomb and gathering the fearful and scattered disciples into a room to meet the resurrected Jesus later that day. Today is Monday, April 21st, 2025, and the lectionary reading is selected verses from the poem Psalm 118. The Psalms teach us ways to celebrate and worship God. Psalm 118 is a song of praise and a call for the community to join the poet in giving thanks to the Lord. And according to the opening verse, the community is to give thanks to the Lord because he's good and his love is forever. Astonishingly, this ancient poem tells the same story as what happened to Jesus. He was arrested and sentenced to die on a cross on Good Friday. The poet sings that the Lord has done something new that has never been done before. The community in Jesus' day celebrated what was new and had never been done before, which was the resurrection of Jesus on Resurrection Sunday. The community celebrated with shouts of joy and victory because the Lord was Jesus' strength as he was on the cross. And because he endured the suffering on the cross, Jesus has become salvation for us. The poet says it was all done by the Lord. He was the one who gave Jesus victory over the power of death. Jesus was rejected by the religious authorities of his day, and the poet described his rejection like a builder rejecting a stone. But the Lord had chosen the same rejected stone and placed it as the cornerstone in a new community of believers. And for that, they were to give thanks, rejoice, and be glad. Now, how can we understand what the poet is saying to us today? The poet felt like that rejected stone that the builder cast aside, but the Lord saw something different. He saw himself as that stone. The stone was picked up and placed in the new building by the Lord. And the poet was no longer rejected, but was now in a community. And the community was asked to celebrate, praise, and to thank the Lord with them. If you have ever felt like that rejected stone, know that the Lord loves you and will not reject you. Jesus' death and resurrection assures us that there is hope, real hope, that things can change. And then we can join the poet and sing, "The Lord is my strength and song." Let this message of hope resonate in your heart as we continue our spiritual journey together.